sure a lot of people are going to be happy to see that tonight.
I hope so. All right, ready to roll?
Mm-hmm. This is how it looks.
Scuppernons. All right.
That's a good one.
Is it bad? Closer?
Yeah.
Let's go. Too close?
It's I'm a little behind. Yeah, that would be too close. It would cut your head off.
I don't want my head cut out.
That's good. That's good.
Ready to ride? All right, let's do this. Let's go.
Hi guys, hope you're well. Hey Wildlife. Hey Joel. Or Joel.
All right, ready to go?
We hadn't seen Wildlife in quite a while.
Last time I saw him actually.
I mean, like chatting on the thing. Tampa Bay sucks. Nah.
We're gonna talk about that.
I like.
Who said that?
Who do you think said that?
B-Dog?
Oh, yeah.
I figured that. All right, so we're gonna talk about
Hey,
that.
Sir John. I'm a Tom Brady fan, so it doesn't matter. I mean.
No, she was a Patriots fan while Tom Brady's there. So
Exactly.
So now she's gonna be a Bucks fan. That makes
I'm not a
zero
Bucks fan.
sense.
I'm just cheering for him.
Give me a break.
Cheering for him.
All right, hopefully everyone is well. We're going to jump right into this again with the internet connection that we have. Sometimes it's hit or miss. So if it goes into some type of, black screen or whatever it looks like, then hang tight. We may just have to start it again with some separate video. So be ready for that.
So Wildlife said he's been busy, which is a blessing in these times. Definitely. I'm happy when we're busy too.
Yeah, we've been actually very busy the past couple of days. We've had lessons back on court. We've had rackets to string. I've got a couple on deck ready to string now. So I think, it's beginning to turn a little bit back to normal, at least where we are, right?
Yeah. I'm glad, because I got some messages saying some people are coming back May 1st. So I was happy to hear that because I like our summers to be busy. Helps me get in shape. Being outside is a plus. You get some sun. You get exercise. It's good.
Lose that winter few pounds that you pack on and get going.
It makes you feel alive when you sweat. At least for me.
All right, today's going to be open topic for the most part. Carla does have a few topics the past couple of days. Literally, it's been lessons in stringing. So I've kind of been out of the mix with a lot of the tennis news, but Carla has a couple good topics.
I didn't write anything down. I'll just mention it and we can talk about it.
Real quickly, the live show versus the recorded show dilemma. The past couple of days, Carla and I on the fly have just, hit live, just I guess running around this little island that we live on. And it seems like here recently, if you do a live show, you have to wait for it to process.
Thanks, B-Dog. You don't have to do that. That's cool. Thank you.
When we do a live show, here's the issue that we have found to be an issue. We do a live show, and it can take like 2 days for it to process for other people to watch after the live feed's done. So hypothetically, this show's live, so we'll stop it. And then it sometimes, again, can take 2 days or never even complete downloading for other people to watch. So I don't have a lot of patience. I'm super impatient. So I'm just like, screw this. I just hit delete because I really don't care about view count anyway. So I'm just like, I'm tired of my phone being dragged down with this processing crap. So I just delete it and just forget about it. So that's the dilemma that we run into. Do we just delete it and, whoever didn't see it, who cares anyway? Or record it so it kind of stays there for everyone. Sometimes it downloads and processes, and sometimes it doesn't. But we will attempt to do a live show tomorrow with her dad, Padre, who is a very straightforward tennis coach, and we hope to have him tomorrow. He's coming here tomorrow, but we'll see how that goes. A few topics today.
Hi, Hitchhiker. He said, oh my God, I finally caught a show.
Let's go. And India, I think. So we're going to talk about the NFL. We're going to talk about the NFL draft. We're going to talk about a few tennis topics, but we'll see how it goes. So, Carla, let's start with the first topic that you mentioned to me this morning. Go for it. Shoot.
Well, before I get there, Sir John said, guys, you're going to have 5G internet, so it's going to be extra fast. However, we're going to feel like we are in a microwave, but internet's going to be very fast. Never mind. Not sure what he meant by that.
I do. And
I don't really watch too much of that stuff.
The comment he just made is actually very prudent to the topic. The first topic you mentioned was about unifying the ATP and the WTA as a whole to help out players ranked outside the top 150 or 200 in the world, so they can get by in this new world in which we live. Correct. So isn't that your topic? The ATP and WTA wanted to combine because
Well, that's Federer. I guess Federer decided to tweet it out, and people give him grief for that because that's been going on for a long
yeah.
time. He said, "Shouldn't we combine the ATP and the WTA?" And
Okay.
I think someone, Pospisilli, gave him grief about that. Some female tennis players. They said we've had this idea a long, long, long time ago.
And we know that Pospisil, the Canadian gent, is really good at calling people out when they need to be called out. This topic has been ongoing in society as a whole, in politics. But let's look at politics for a second. He mentioned the 5G network, right?
Yeah.
And that was Surgeon that mentioned that?
Surgeon, yes.
So homeboy's thinking, and here's why this is a worry. In politics, and I don't want to get into politics, but there's generally like a left side and then there's a right side, and there's kind of an independent kind of that rolls through and kind of ebbs and flows between, or sometimes skirts around either side, and so when we unify groups as a whole, we centralize power. I'm not getting into this centralization of power thing. I'm too dumb to talk about it. I'm a dumb human being that knows little about anything. Just try to do my best to know a little bit about my 5 kids. But when we centralize power amongst the groups, we give too much power at times to too few people. So what happens in this situation is, if you say you have, and I'm not picking on the ATP or WTA, but I'm assuming it works the same way. So let's say you have Group A that's got all these employees and people. You have Group B that has all these employees and people and these different beliefs and da-da-da-da-da. And that keeps people kind of honest and openly competitive, right? And it keeps people, kind of separated but equal in a way. So when we unify those groups, we tend to lose track of the people that will be lost out of those 2 groups now that there's just one group. So we lose people to create this centralized whole. So now the centralized whole is now calling the shots, and those on the outside looking in that were left field and right field before, now it's just one field.
So you're saying it's not a good idea?
Well, I don't know the pros and cons. Again, I'm too dumb to understand it in any walk of life. But sometimes when we centralize power, we end up kind of stepping on a lot of the peasants' toes. And now instead of having 2 groups that are now spoken for their constituents as a whole, now you have one group. So 2 beliefs become one belief, and now you're kind of pissing on the other half that doesn't kind of. Do you see what I'm saying?
I think Federer probably say just to get women equal money, but I don't think it's a good idea because, well, let's see, you can't really run an organization like you do for the men as you do for the women. We are different type of species, don't you think?
Yeah. What do we have? We have what? So we have 23 chromosomes. Is that what we have? Men, women, and I think our how many trillions of cells do we have in our body? Like 100 trillion cells or something like that. And I think every cell in the men's body is different than the cell in the women's body. So again, men and women are different creatures. So therefore, I think the unified group, if it's a bunch of dudes running around and they're bossing the girls around, I think the girls.
It could become ugly.
It become problematic.
Hitchhiker said, dude, if ATP and WTA merge, you can get all tennis matches with one streaming subscription. True.
But we understand that.
If you have the guys, because it's going to be the men running it if it were a merge. I don't think it's a good idea. I think that the women would lose out. I think it's better to have women fight for them than the guys, because men don't understand women. They don't.
Yeah, and
I think we've learned that. I have 2 daughters, and even my older son says girls are different. They're very different.
My father's a doctor and was just here the other night stating how different every individual cell is in the body. Again, I think we have to understand here that people are human beings. I get we're fans, and hey, we can, like he said, we can get one stream for one thing, but is that selfishness? Is it selfish? Now, I think the by the way, this thing that Federer tweeted out, I don't watch it, but I've heard this. Billie Jean King, and correct me if I'm wrong, was saying this years ago. If not back in the day when she was doing Battle of the Sexes with Bobby Riggs.
She's been fighting for their rights for a
very long time.
Yeah.
So because now let's go back to Surgeon mentioning the 5G, right? Okay, so here we are in society. It is basically a fact that the 5G network will watch all of us human beings very closely. It will track you, it will follow you, and so forth. So if we are trying to globalize society as a whole, and again, I don't care either way, as long as it's, fitting for us to be good people and to raise our children and to educate them and to share sports and family values with them, I could care less how it goes down. But look, the five. Look, tell me if this is coincidence or if this is conspiracy theory. We end up with this thing that's this thing. I can't even say it right, so it'll get pulled. We have this thing going around the world, right? Some people believe it, some people don't. Some people say there's people that get killed in car crashes and they go into the hospital or whatever.
Because the hospitals make money for every time.
Yeah, and
I believe that.
And they come out with a cause of passing with something that wasn't even the reason because there's money involved. Hey, if you tell us this guy perished because of that, then we'll give your hospital an extra 40 grand or something. Mm-hmm. So believe me, money is a big root of evil in this sense. So here we are with the 5G that is somehow being thrown into the limelight right in the mix of a global problem, right? So now what are we looking at? Tracing, and let's follow who have you talked to, where did you go? We need to make sure that you're not spreading fake news or
yeah, I don't like that. I don't want to be controlled by anyone.
I don't want to be controlled at all. So I'm a good human being. I don't hurt anybody. I don't have any type of weapons. None whatsoever. I don't take any medications. I definitely don't need any medications forced upon me. Now, I think this leads to the second.
Well, let me get to before you get to your second thing, before we go off that subject.
All right.
Michael Walker says ATP Tour and WTA Tour can't legislate equal prize money. Economic will determine what each group makes. You don't have to. You don't have that in the WNBA and the NBA having equal prize money because economics don't add up.
Yeah, I mean, he's right. No, again, I would be kind of hypocritical to fall 100% on that because I just said basically men and women are inherently different and we shouldn't be selfish about money because it's not John Doe's problem that John Doe B is making more money.
Well, but don't you think the reason that they would combine it, and I think Federer, the only reason he said it is because it would give women more money in the tour. I think that's the only reason he said it.
I'm calling bullshit on that. I'm calling.
Or he's bored and he just wants people to.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't Roger Federer and a lot of other people in the world, like Bill Gates, billionaire or approaching the billionaire status? Okay, now what?
Sure.
How many billionaires or quasi-billionaires control the world? Like 1%?
Yeah.
When you get to that type of level, control is your thing. Whether you think this is some nice guy over here or some person that has the best thoughts for mankind or for their sport. I'm not saying Roger Federer doesn't have the best interest of the sport.
I'll get to your question in a second.
Not the best interest in the sport, but believe me, when you have a bunch of people that are trying to, or not a bunch, a small group of people that are trying to centralize as a whole, and therefore what they say goes now amongst all people, there's going to be people that don't like it. It's politics 101. It's left and right being unified into one. I think that's why we have government, right?
Well, so, I think not Wildlife, B-Dog said that's why government broke up monopolies.
Exactly.
He said both have 23 chromosomes, 22 are the same, and 23 is different. Wildlife wanted you to know that Zverev's model girlfriend broke up with him.
Good for her and good for him. Maybe he can start playing some tennis again.
Hitchhiker asked a question a while ago, and I'm trying to get back to it. Okay, here we go. Hitchhiker, where are you? Okay, should Federer play French Open this year? Well, that's done.
But is it even going to happen?
It's not going to happen. That's done. I thought.
Well, now he may not know, and maybe something has changed.
After they disrespected him by changing the date to consider with the Laver Cup, but Laver Cup was canceled too.
Well, furthermore than that, the ATP and WTA threatened. Well, I think
But French Open was in May. Is in May? Isn't that done?
Well, yes, but they rescheduled it for later in the year. However, though, the ATP already threatened the French Open and their, again, organization as a whole. Again, the majors are run by their own groups and organizations. They are separate. So they can kind of, pick and choose and do what they wish. They just don't want to piss in someone's soup, right?
He's not going to play it anyways because he's not great. I mean, well, he's good at clay, but he doesn't care for the French Open. For him, it doesn't matter.
But the ATP already threatened.
They already threatened.
They already threatened the French Tennis Federation to remove all points if points were won if they continued with those deviated plans from the norm.
I don't think I don't think any tennis is going to happen.
Yeah.
Sir John says, not only are the 5G networks and towers work on much higher frequency than 4G, when you live near a tower, really soon you're going to get sick. Bees are dying, birds, trees, and nature. I think that is just something much more sinister, but common folks do not see that yet.
It's a fact. Just because something's invisible, if you have high intensity bands of radiation or however it works running through the air that gets to your phone. It's going to pass through your skin and your brain. I'm too dumb to know all that, but this is something we've heard now for a couple of years. When you're cooking food in your microwave, do you want to walk up to the microwave? Ooh, that's some thunder.
We need some rain. We need some rain. We've been waiting for rain.
If I'm cooking up, I don't cook in the microwave much, but if I'm cooking something in the microwave and I hit start, do I want to put my eyes up on it and watch that thing? Like, man.
I told my son, I was like, get away from the microwave.
Get away from the microwave. So, but this is all about control. What is more? What is more? Okay, you tell me what's more feasible or what is just a conspiracy theory. So right now, here we are, the 5G networks coming out. Number one. Number two, we have this thing going around that somehow just seems a little iffy. At the same point in time, that the other thing is coming into fruition. Now, third of all, now we're being told we're going to have drones flying around us, and they're going to make sure you're keeping your distance, and we're going to trace whoever you talk to.
We already have snitches. Now we're going to have drones.
We've had snitches for thousands of years, snitching on people that are just normal people because they get off on snitching on people and causing problems. How many snitches and stooges do you know in this world that go into places and just get off on telling on people? They're everywhere, right? There's snitches everywhere you go.
Yeah.
So if that's how we're gonna live, then I'd rather go back to my old Razor flip phone.
Same here.
And just not have anything.
V Savage says no billionaire should be listened to. Of course, right on, JD. Just put a Band-Aid on his mouth and let him play while we watch. Michael Walker says, but you can't say let's have the tour join together when the economics don't add up. Yeah. Why should men take a pay cut to support WTA Tour?
Exactly.
Would NBA players take a huge pay to support WNBA? No, they wouldn't.
Exactly. That's perfectly said.
Well, that's why it will never work. It will never work because no one will be happy. The men will fight against the women, and now it becomes crappy.
Yeah, it's almost like communism in tennis. It's like we have a fascist tennis organization. Like, we're the group, and we are the one. We are the whole, and we will tell all of you what to do because you voted on it because of... shut up. Just play the game. It is unfortunate that the women draw less fans. We've talked about this for 2 years. And how can we change that? Maybe, we've talked about this for 2 years at length. How we could hypothesize how to draw the women in more. Heck, they have to go in so far as showing their butts and thongs to break even. And that's the problem. That's the problem as a whole.
Well, good point. Some of these guys are making, we're going to get to that. That's the next topic. But Russia is using facial...
I don't even have to look. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. Did someone just mention the Djokovic vaccination topic?
Yes.
Who said that?
Sir John.
Surgeon's on my brainwave.
Hitchhiker said Russia is using facial recognition to arrest people for violating lockdown. That's terrible.
Look, I won't put anything on camera that I get pulled, but can you imagine what finger I'm throwing to Russia behind my hand? Jeez.
Okay, so let's go to Sir John. He said, also, have you heard that Novak Djokovic said that he's not going to receive a vaccine for this thing, and every single person throwing rocks on him, he is a bad guy at the moment. Yeah, I agree with him. With Djokovic, I would never put something in my body if I have a choice, I will say no. I agree with Djokovic. Unless you're a military where they tell you this is what you need, blah, 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 you have no choice. You're serving your country, right?
Yeah.
That would be a different thing.
Well, the military does it. We have a son going to the Air Force Academy.
You have to get... Yeah.
They do it for stuff like, hey, they might travel to a sub-Saharan Africa and may be exposed to certain things that we don't have here, so they vaccinate them for that, Ebola.
Yeah, they have to. But when I go to the doctor and they say, you want a flu shot? My answer is, I always say no. Do your kids? No. I had to give it to my older son because he's going to the military academy. But I'm sorry, I'm with Djokovic. Nobody should tell anybody what to put in their body. And we know that Djokovic is the type of guy that he eats very healthy. He believes in and
he's a soldier.
In holistic, getting better. He didn't even want the surgery for his elbow, I read. So I don't blame him. And then you have someone like Tennis Sangren telling him, oh, let's find out what's in your bank account or your health history. Even though he was joking, you're an idiot for saying that. And then Maresmo says that every player should get vaccinated before they come into a country to play a tournament. That is just wrong. You're taking away human rights.
Yeah, if you think someone with the likes of Tennis Sangren, no disrespect, in other words, here's media outlets that are looking for someone to take the left or the right field advantage. So they're just going to grab...
Hey, Stimpy.
What's up? They're just going to grab some, shenanigan comment from someone because, Tennis Sangren had 7 match points against, Roger Federer squandered them all. So, let me ask you a question. How many times has Tennis Sangren been in the news as a professional for some type of slur to defame someone or something in some way, shape, or form. Quite a few times, right?
Yeah,
and people still listen.
Yeah, nobody
So
can
you
say
still find out?
100%. He said he would have to know more information. I agree with you, Wildlife. He says Nobody said he would have to make a decision. He never said 100%. Sure, but I mean, you can't just say, "Hey, you got to get this." I mean, he's right. The guy is right.
Yeah, so you're telling me because we've got these new cell phone towers going up everywhere that might cook your brain. We got this thing going around that everybody is isolated from going outside for. That's cost 22 million jobs in the United States. But now because it's so problematic, now we got to shove a needle in our arm when it has zero effect, at least on a lot of us so far, except skepticism of what the whole thing's about in the first place.
So Sir John said they started to speak about the mandatory vaccination. He said that he's going to stop playing tennis if
I don't blame
they
him.
can receive
I'd
the
stop
vaccine.
too. I'd be like, who are you to tell me I gotta stick something in my damn arm? I mean, okay, if I have gangrene growing up my neck and you got to give me, something I don't know what it is in my neck to keep my head from falling off because I already lost my arm.
They are athletes.
Okay, I get it.
They are athletes. They're not in the military. They're not working for the government. I mean,
for what, 2 months now we've heard that once you get this thing, it's you got the antibodies. You're good to go. You're good. Everything's great.
Djokovic walked back the vaccination statement. What do you mean by that, B-Dog?
I wouldn't walk it back. I wouldn't walk it.
No,
back.
I would stand my ground.
I'd stand my ground
When you
too.
say something, mean it.
I don't
give a crap if people hate me about it.
If you believe in something, right? If you believe in something, are you going to sell your soul to unbelieve in it? Do you see what I'm saying?
No, I wouldn't.
If you believe so firmly in something.
I'm sure he's confused, Milan. I'm sure he's confused. Nobody knows exactly what they mean, but still, I wouldn't put anything in my body. What he said is right. You need to test things before you do that. B-Dog said 5G is 100% conspiracy. Areas without 5G access still have cold cases. NBA players already support WNBA at $20 million per year.
Well, yes, I get what you're saying, B-Dog. Much love, by the way. But it just seems very coincidental that the same kind of futuristic, which is now network, that is a much faster and much more capable of kind of eyes in the sky type thing is happening at the same point in time when we're in the midst of this thing that is terrifying the masses, especially those that aren't, super healthy or that aren't athletes. I get it, but it's terrifying everyone. So it just seems a little odd.
I've read statements where people have family died in a car accident and stuff. I mean, I've read today many. And they said, "Oh, let's just put COVID-19 because let's test them after they're dead."
Yeah.
I mean, gotta be careful of that.
Yeah, it just seems like the ball is rolling more quickly now than I've ever seen it roll before. Society is changing, and it's changing rapidly. But I will not let someone stick a needle in my arm because they tell me I have to.
Right.
I will not ever do that. You can put me in jail. Been there before. Don't care. Don't stick it in my arm. Don't force it upon me. If I need it, I'll take it, but you're not going to force that needle upon me, period. And I won't sell my soul. Hey, I'll give you $1 million if you stick this thing in your arm. Screw you. You might kill me in 2 months from some pancreatic cancer or something. Kiss my ass. All right.
Well, on another positive note, I read also where Djokovic was working on getting money to the lower ranked players. I think there was a limit to the top 100, lower until the hundreds or something. They were asking for the top players to donate money to this cause, which I thought was pretty good. I think it's a great plan.
Yeah.
Because he said a lot of us can take a long time, a break from tennis, but some of these players are saying they're going to quit tennis because they can't afford not work.
Okay, let's rewind a second. Here in the United States, there was a stimulus thing. This thing happened, okay, and I know there's people that didn't get it, and blah, 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 blah. But there has to be a better way to help these players that are basically their employees. These players are employees, right? Mm-hmm. Their career is to play the game, right? Mm-hmm. There has to be a better way of helping these people as a whole without saying, A, stick this thing in your arm, B, forget these separate groups, we're going to unify as one, can about, hundreds of other people and say, you know what, we didn't need you, now we're a unified one, get lost, and now the hands of power are much more confined, right?
V. Salvage says, so what do we do when this happens? Namely inequality due to economics, determining something in our world. We do nothing?
We're not saying do nothing. Is that what he's saying? We're not saying do nothing. We're saying why do you have to threaten and let's do.
Hygiene.
It's not to do nothing. Do something. Absolutely do the same thing. That, in other words, the separate groups should come together as one and work together. And then when it returns to normal, then go back and do it. It wasn't necessarily a problem until this thing started happening. It wasn't necessarily a problem ever. I know people talked about it. But again, there's no difference in this discussion than as if you're a Republican or you're a Democrat or whether you're a globalist or you're a capitalist. It's the same thing. So because of this, now we're throwing politics into tennis. Unified whole, well, good luck, because if that happens, then next time there's an issue of some sort, everybody's going to be like, well, damn, I wish we were separate again. Sorry, buddy, you voted on it. Get back in line. What I say goes and get lost. It's communism. And yes, well, Djokovic, everyone should help. Yes.
Djokovic is always going to be the bad guy no matter what. Why?
Because where does he come from?
Where does he come from? Exactly. Now, many of us know it's Djokovic, and he's number one, and there's jealousy. He's the ATP council. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. You know, his world is going great. And when your world is going great, people want to see you fall. And that's just reality. And
absolutely, people should do something. But I tell you what, when you centralize...
The topic is we're talking about Djokovic saying Gene's on there. Yeah, he's a little bit lost. We're talking about how Djokovic said he wasn't going to take a vaccine without knowing what it is, and people are giving him grief over it.
Well, also, too, and much love to Gene. Gene was talking with me the other day, and much love, and God bless. He was there when his grandmother passed away. So much respect there to Eugene for having to do that. We've been there a couple times, Carla and I, and it does, looking back, make you stronger. So rest in peace, Grandma. Move forward. However, again, no disrespect to Gene here. Sometimes a young man's mind at 16, 17 years old won't quite get the political topic in the first place. No disrespect.
Well, what did the mayor do in Vegas? I heard about this. Michael Walker said Novak isn't as bad as the mayor from Vegas. What did the mayor? I heard about this. People were really upset.
Well, he wanted to open up the casino, surely? I don't know. I have no idea. I've been to Vegas 3 or 4 times, a couple Fish concerts.
I've never been to Vegas.
But yeah, I mean, I'm assuming they want the casinos open. I mean, geez, that's $1 trillion industry annually, worldwide.
There's a lot of people losing money right now. Businesses, small businesses are suffering. People are, they're suffering through this.
Yeah, but...
And even when they open up, it's not going to be the same. People are going to be different.
Squashing the topic, here's my parting thoughts on this. All right, and then we're going to move on. Don't use suffrage and don't use times of strife to push political goals of unifying groups as one central power. Because when everything turns to normal, and it will return to normal, you will regret being owned by a handful of people when you wish that you could reach out to multiple sources and have a more clear path. You know, Group A doesn't like you, okay, let me try Group B or C or D. But when you have a centralized power, then what they say goes, and that's it, or there's the brig. Talk to China, move forward.
B-Dog says Djokovic, which is looking for the 200 or 400 ranked players, proposed $3 to $5 million to help support them.
Wonderful.
I hope that happens because I know they need it.
Now, to come up with that, do you have to change the dynamics of the game politically? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but this is donations.
Yeah.
He's asking all the top players.
Do that.
That's what he's asking for. He was asking all the top players to donate money. Some of them didn't like the idea, and some are willing to help.
Yeah. So if you have, look, between Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Novak Djokovic as a whole, you definitely have over $1 billion.
$5 million? Here you go. Right there. They don't even have to think about
it. These type of players need unemployment type money. You know, $600 a week, $800 a week. That's U.S. Again, that's about the average here. They don't need to buy a new house and a new car. So you're going to use the threat of unifying all these people, all these groups, and unemploying a lot of them. Now, all these different groups, if they come together, there will be one unified whole, and there'll be 1,000 people out of work that will then be asking for help from XYZ that they used to work for, but now it doesn't exist. So now they're screwed in the ass, and now you're going to be screwed in the ass moving forward with decisions because there's only one all-seeing eye. And that's the problem.
Okay, and then Michael Walker said that the mayor wanted to open up everything without testing. I got you. Okay. Yeah. Abdullah Boots said, did you guys watch Stan Nola and Murray Nole live chat? I did not. I usually don't watch that stuff. I'm so sorry.
Well, it's not that we don't watch it. It's just that we coach and have 5 kids stuck in here with us.
Yeah, and I'd rather work out or do something else.
It's a time thing.
Yeah, I'd rather work out or do something else. Federer's net worth, according to Forbes, 620 million. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just one of them could donate 5 million and would make a difference.
Yeah, he could get he just one person could get 20 million, which he wouldn't even notice. It'd be like having a couple pennies out of your penny bank, and this discussion would be over. But hey, let's talk about unifying under a centralized power.
He was bored.
Yeah.
He was bored.
Well,
Anyways.
Or he was paid off by someone to say it that's been trying to say it because he is who he is. And he did it with a smile on a happy type level. I think it was a knee-cut jerk, nasty
Let me tell
reaction.
you something. They told Federer, hey, guys, make sure that you donate to the ATP. With a smile, all of you guys would.
Yeah.
All of you guys would because it's Federer.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Roger Federer, you're approaching the billionaire club. Do what we say or we'll take you out of it. You'll pay 50% taxes if you don't say this on your interview with,
I guarantee
with no
you people are so stupid enough to do it, to donate money when there are other people out there, regular, normal people, organizations right now that need it. People can't eat. People can't pay their bills. I mean, seriously, but they're going to do it for the ATP.
Roger Federer's a tennis player, fan, always been a fan, love his game, arguably the greatest of all time outside of Novak Djokovic. I still think Stefan Edberg goes in there, but anyway.
Well,
but are you ready to make him president of the world? Are you ready to put him at the core of what you can and cannot do?
Just because you're a tennis player doesn't mean that I'm going to listen to what you say.
Are you gonna say that yes, we want to see this unified whole only because if I'm a fan? And I want to see everything on one stream. It's a little on the selfish side. Again, we think it's cool now because of the problem, but when the problem resolves, and it shall resolve, what's going to happen then?
Yeah. Beto says USTA Corporation needs to support the players. Unbelievable capitalism at its best.
Exactly.
Bigs up to supporting lower-ranked players. Djokovic. Yeah, I agree. The USDA has done nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. As a matter of fact, they came out with a statement of when they reopen how we should do things. We should wear gloves. Wear gloves to play tennis.
I wouldn't play.
Wear gloves. How are we going to hold that grip?
I'm just touching the phone. So
I mean, I just think it's crazy. I mean, they talk a lot but don't do much. It's crazy. Let's see. Federer doesn't pay 50% taxes, maybe 20. No, I know he's exaggerating.
Exaggerating. I'm exaggerating. I was being what's the word for it? Facetious.
Milan said he was definitely told by someone 1,000%. Of course he was.
Yeah, he was told by somebody.
There was a pastor out there that said, "Hey guys, those of you who received that stimulus check, make sure you donate it." I guarantee you, if it was Federer, some of you would have done it.
Yeah, exactly. If your net worth, as someone just said, is around $600 and some odd million, you are no longer even in control of your own destiny because that is too much money for one person to be accountable for. There are groups, there are politicians, there are lobbyists. You are tied into the mega elite at that money level. So you can't believe anything that these people say or anything that these people do. Hence why for
Savage says a great thing. Anything that comes out of Federer's mouth, a gesture out of his body in general, other than hitting a tennis ball, should be looked at with suspicion.
It should be. Now look, for a year and a half on this show, actually it's closer to 2 now, I have gone over the hill, if that makes any sense, about putting Federer in his place in a way. Now, it's odd, a lot of you say, that I'm a Federer fan. Look, I watched Federer from the climax of his junior years all the way up until right now. Now, about a year and a half ago, I started saying, okay, Federer still here is not really about tennis anymore because, damn, he just had 7 match points to get the same buffoon that's talking, slander, Tennis Sandgren. So you know he's not what he used to be. You know he's not going to win a major again. I don't care what any of you say. I'll take the bet. If you want to put $100 cash with interest on the table that Roger Federer will win another major, I'll take the bet. And then if he does win a major, it's very skeptical still, in my opinion. However, Roger Federer is nearly a billionaire now. His game isn't where it used to be. Everything he says at this point now should be taken with a grain of salt, if at all.
Well, Michael Walker, he said Hitchhiker, it was 620 million and number 5 in the current athlete network list. I doubt he's more than what Forbes estimated. Don't forget sponsors.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of sponsors.
Yeah,
you don't make your money from tennis. You make it from sponsors.
Yeah, and I think the Forbes list is a liquid list, meaning that money he's liquid with it. He can move it.
And he'll keep making money after he retires.
Yeah,
much more.
You know, the last person I want to listen to tell me what I do and got to do is a billionaire. And let me talk to someone on the street that just lost their arm in an accident. And may have a little common sense.
Hey, Wayne.
But you can't believe that crap. You just can't.
So Gene says, it's a good thing that every tennis body coming together, we should be grateful.
Yeah. And not try to be
but some people have different agendas.
everyone has a different
Next
agenda.
topic, laugh out loud.
All right, next topic. This one for a moment is going to involve coaching. If B-Dog's out there, he's a good one at this because he has a son that plays football. And Carla and I run into this, I would say often, actually. I'm not going to say the majority of the time, but we run into it often. And that's motivating a young student athlete, or any athlete for that matter. I'm not saying someone 65, 70 that's out playing recreational 3-5 level tennis or 3-0 level tennis. I'm saying when you have a young student, whether it be in football, baseball, tennis, lacrosse, rugby, soccer, whatever, when you have a young athlete,
Bye, B-Dog. Thank you.
when you have a young athlete that's built well, physically fit, has all the world to gain, but they cannot find a way to become motivated, how as a coach do you motivate the person that cannot ever seem to get motivated? And I'll put it into perspective. Let's say, Carlo, we have a student come out and they're fit, they look good, they're in shape, and you get them out on the court. They've been playing the game for a little while elsewhere. They come to you to kind of get to that next level that they never really got to, and you realize that no matter how intense you are, no matter what you try to do and how positive you are, that you can never get the student or person to kind of stop dragging their feet and to find a way to fight. How do you find the fight in someone that's fit and ready to go, but just doesn't have the fight naturally? Can you find it, or do you just give up? What do you do?
You keep trying. I don't think I would give up on a student. I think we have a couple, not too many, that are like that. Just a couple of students. I won't name names because it's not a good thing.
No, there's no need to do that. But what's a common sign of lack?
First of all, usually I ask the student, "Why are you here?
Yeah, what's your goal?
Are you here just because your parents are forcing you?" And if they say yes, then there's nothing you can do.
Well, let me ask you a question. Isn't the parent because they've been around a little bit longer and supposed to be a little bit more wise? Now, I get there's some scumbag parents out there that
I think some parents just want to get their kids out to do something, and maybe they're not trying for them to like be great at it, just to get them out there.
And then
you cannot push, because if it's just for fun.
Well, this is a thumbs up for the parent. Mm-hmm. However, what are some of the things that make us fight? Confidence, swag, strength, practice. Knowing in our head what we're out there to do, and knowing that we can do it no matter if we win or lose. So a lot of times I find that when you have a student or a student athlete or whatever it is, and you can't seem to get them to get on their feet, to move, to let's go, to fight, I think what you have to look at is, have they ever been able to hold down a confidence level in what it is they're doing? So let's use hypothetically one of our students, right? Really good player, loves to come out, but could be a lot better if this person would come out and move their feet and train. How do you find that energy to pull out of them? Is it not with continuing to practice, so finally you own that shot or own this shot?
We do see glimpse of that. But I guess you can't push them too hard if they don't want to be there. We have some students that they want to be there. They go over and beyond, and those are the ones you really want to help. You know what I mean? And hope they accomplish everything they desire.
But don't you think some of those students that are like, let's go, let's say this. If I'm a student of anything, whether it's science, math, college, tennis, badminton, bowling, whatever it is, if I'm always around people, and they're winning all the time or whatever, and I just kind of still don't really know what I'm doing, and I've never really beaten anybody, doesn't that always kind of make me kind of shun away? If I can't be successful at something, if I can't beat anybody, I just, don't want to put too much motivation into it. However, there's an old saying, if I throw a pebble in a bucket, eventually a bucket fills up. I tell it to the kids all the time. Hit 100 serves today, 100 tomorrow, 100 every day of the week, and eventually at the end of the year, you got 365,000 serves in, right?
Yeah.
So I find it that when you find a student that you can finally get them to hit the ball, and as a tennis metaphor, not just roll it over, not just tap it over, but actually finally hit it and actually like win a point by like hitting the ball, I find the intensity picks up.
Yeah.
So I think practice is the ultimate solution. I think that some students have to practice a lot longer. Carl, you started tennis at the game of 11 and became a lights out player in like a year or two, right? Mm-hmm. Playing at Bollettieri's, playing challengers and everything else, right? I started at 2, and it wasn't until I was 14 or 15 where I was really confident to go out on the court and win. So do you see the difference?
Yeah, there are different types.
But my parents never quit.
No, my parents never quit either. Michael Walker says Joseph Jackson raised Michael Jackson the right way. Lever Ball raised his sons the right way. LeVar Ball. I guess he's talking about.
Well, look, I have mixed emotions about the Ball family.
I think Joseph Jackson was tough on his son, right?
Yeah.
That's why he became the man he was. Or
I really, all three of the Ball boys, by the way, I really hope they do very well. I don't obviously know any of them, but I'm a big basketball fan, and I actually have a basketball topic here.
So, Milan, you said no, he didn't? Who didn't? Michael Jackson's father or LeVar? I mean, LeVar didn't raise him right, in my opinion. He taught him to be cocky, which they had nothing to be cocky about because their game is not. I mean, look at them now. They're having to work for it, right?
Whoa, no. Now you're off. You don't follow basketball, so I think
I watched the story.
I think you overstepped your boundaries.
I didn't overstep my boundaries.
Yeah,
he said his son had to play for the Lakers.
Okay,
all his kids
forget about. You're missing.
No.
You're catching the headline news. Can you tell me real quickly what happened with the middle son? Why is the middle son not doing
made
too
him
well?
quit college, right? Didn't made him quit college and then send him overseas.
Why? What happened over there, Carla? He got caught stealing something in China?
He got away with stuff, yeah.
He got caught stealing something.
He left college.
All right.
Right? And went to go play where?
Homeboy got arrested in China for stealing something.
I remember that.
How do you think that looks on your college application? He lost his college, then he sent them overseas to play. Well, look, I'm positive with these. I don't know where you came from that, but that was just shooting from the hip.
You're telling me that guy raised his sons right?
Can I finish what you're talking about?
Okay.
LeVar Ball wants the best for his sons. He did it with a loud mouth, stay in your lane and all that stuff. That's okay. I get down sometimes like that too. He did what he could do, and he has three boys that will be highly successful. Now, the youngest one's a beast, by the way. Now, at his age, his youngest son's played, in Lithuania,
yes,
Australia, and everywhere else. And that kid right there, that youngest kid, what's his name?
Calm down, Justin, they said.
But you can't tell me that LeVar Ball didn't do the best for his boys. You can't. He did it with a loud mouth, but he did the best for his boys.
Yeah, I think maybe the first one went to school, right?
He plays for the Pelicans right now, Lonzo. He went to the Lakers.
What did you say about those three kids when you saw them? They're going to fail because of the way that you told me that kid is not going to make it long at the Lakers. You told me that.
Well, because he's going to be there playing with LeBron, and LeBron's needing to get a last championship. Before
LeBron got there, you said that kid's going to fail, and the other two are going to be worse.
Well, the reason why I said that about Lonzo is because his shot, he rolls it off the side of him, and it can just get packed. Ask Stefanisevic out there. He can't take that shot off the right side of his shoulder. You wouldn't know that. But his shot is flawed. That's why I said he wouldn't last at the Lakers, not because of his dad.
But the other two, you said, look at the way they talk, look at the way they act. You don't give kids money and make them show it off on a show. You told me that.
Yes, that's the second thing. However, with Lonzo, it was his shot. He needs to work on his shot. That was one thing. The second son, I told you wouldn't do well because he got arrested stealing some Louis Vuitton shit.
Milan said one of them went out of school, and he isn't even that talented.
So the youngest kid, though.
We're talking about some basketball players here, check that.
Yeah. So the youngest kid, that I think he scored like 100 points in a junior game. It doesn't matter.
Wildlife said Lonzo is a solid player, but nothing like LeVar talked him up to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Who said that?
Wildlife. He should have taught him how to be humble.
Exactly. But Lonzo will continue to be an average point guard and will have a long career in the NBA. He may not be the starter. He might be like Rondo one day.
I'm glad he's working hard. So he's changed that. Yes, Michael Walker, you're right. Father is overbearing, but he is overall a good parent. I think he was trying to copy Richard Williams, except Richard Williams did it with results. You know what I mean?
Look. LeVar Ball had a brand, Big Baller Brand. It was a debacle. But
how?
What better way to promote your brand, Big Baller Brand, than talking a bunch of smack? He did what he thought was best, and unfortunately it didn't work out to plan.
Lonzo he's the quiet one.
Yeah, he's all right. He's all right.
Milan says, way too much overhyped for them to set up for criticism.
Okay, so let me ask everybody a question real quick now that we're on this topic. And Carla has been, I think, diligently trying to catch up on basketball learning. I've talked it for so many years, and she's like,
I used to play it too, but I watched it during the era I watched it was Patrick Ewing, John Stockton, and then I stopped once the Knicks were done.
Let me ask everybody a question. This, to me, is a no-brainer question.
All of this is Chinese. All of this is in Chinese for MD, me.
Anyway, okay, real quick question. And we talk about tennis greatest of all time a lot. Who's the greatest of all time? It's such an old topic now. I have no interest in it. But I found myself in a debate with her brother about basketball and the greatest of all time in basketball. To me, it's a no-brainer. To me, it's Jordan, Jordan, Jordan. And if you think anything differently, you're just naive or maybe a favorite of another player. So I got in this debate with her brother about who was the best player of all time. Of course, I just said Jordan and thought nothing would come back, but he seems to think it's LeBron James, hand down. Now let me go ahead and say a couple things about this. Number one, Jordan won 6 championships, not 3. Jordan stayed at the same team, retired from it, went back to the same team again, and won 3 more. LeBron could never get it done in Cleveland, so he dips out of Cleveland. He runs to Miami and gets it done with Bosh and Wade. And who was the guy chunking threes from the corner all the time? Ray Allen. Anyway, so he buys it. He chases his championship. He goes back to Cleveland. And I get it. He doesn't have much of a team when he wins that other championship against the Warriors. But how can anybody say that LeBron James is the greatest of all time over someone like Michael Jordan? Does anyone think that's true? And I don't want to spend a lot of time here, but I think there's one thing that came into her brother's mindset. He's from Miami. Well, he was born in New York, but has lived almost his entire life there. His mother lives there. He's a big Miami guy. So don't you think there's a little bit of bias there?
I love LeBron, but I have to respect that Jordan is. It's like I told him. I said you have to look at the greatest of all time, who holds the most.
Yeah,
right? Just like Federer. We have this debate with Federer, Djokovic, and Nadal. We had this debate about tennis. Who is the greatest of all time? It's whoever has the most. Period.
You know, if you get it down to that. But let's just say in this situation,
I'm sorry, some of you guys don't like basketball. Sorry.
All right. Anyway, we'll move forward. It's tough to not talk about other sports because even though that we are tennis coaches and we've played it our entire lives, we do play a lot of other sports.
I actually enjoy watching that series. I'm gonna watch it because
anybody watching the NFL draft, by the way, that's football. For those of you that basketball is Chinese to you, that's okay. The NFL draft, I'm looking.
Wait a minute, Bill Russell is the GOAT?
Could be. Bill. Whoa. Who said that? Who said that?
Nah.
Bill Russell has won the most championships of anyone else, something like 10 of them, right? 10 championships, but he did it in the previous area where he was like, 6'8", and all the rest of the little guys were like 5'9", and like grew up in the Midwest somewhere. Wasn't it like Hoosiers basketball, like Indiana Hoosiers basketball with Bill Russell?
I agree with you, Ying. LeBron is not far behind Mike. No, definitely not.
He's got 3 more championships.
LeBron is the better athlete, Michael Walker. I think he is, but Jordan is the more complete player. Well, he said it really well.
LeBron is a big man. Jordan is like, classic Federer or Djokovic.
Yeah, you got me.
He's running around out there. He's moving. He's using the court. LeBron's just like, yo, I'm big. I'm strong. I'll dunk on your head.
I love LeBron. So, for me, I want him to be better than Michael Jordan.
How many game-winning shots has LeBron missed over the years? A lot. How many did Jordan miss? Not many. How many championships? 6-3. Okay. Who ran to another team to get one with the big 3? LeBron. Who never left their team? Jordan. It's not open for debate. In my opinion, LeBron quit Cleveland to go bought his way into a couple. In my opinion, LeBron has 1 championship in comparison to Jordan. Just saying. Proof is in the pudding. NFL draft.
You could say that about Kevin Durant. Just saying.
Yeah, Durant chased his to the worst. Could never get it done in Oklahoma City. Whatever. Anyway.
Carteri's like LeBron, LeVar, LeBert, Lavahu. Carteri, you need to experience other sports besides tennis. There's other sports out there.
All right.
NFL, it's National
Football League. American football.
Yeah.
2 questions, and we'll push through this quick. And I'll ask Carl this and all of you. Do the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that's NFL football, with Bruce Arians as the coach, Tom Brady throwing the football now, Rob Gronkowski now came out of retirement playing tight end, a couple good wide receivers, an overall decent team.
Who's picking Tua? I don't know.
Tua, we're from Alabama, at least we live here. Tua Tagovailoa, I have him written here. I think he'll go to the Dolphins at 7. He may go to the Chargers. The Chargers just traded Rivers to the Colts. So I know the Chargers and Miami will be a good fit for Tua. However, Tua's had 4 surgeries, and he's not even out of college yet. He's had 1 on each ankle, surgery on the ankle, surgery on the other ankle.
Animal 440 says, put a baseball bat in LeBron's hands and see what happens.
He'll strike out. I think he'll strike out. Jordan tried it, didn't go too well. The Birmingham Barons right here in Bama. Knowledge drop number 45 with the Birmingham Baron 13s. Jordan shoes, I might lose someone else on that.
Someone B Savage said MJ equals Kobe plus LeBron. Simple math, equation equality.
Let's go. I love that. Can you repeat that?
MJ equals Kobe plus LeBron. Simple math equation. Actually.
Exactly. Give me LeBron and Kobe. Put them together. R.I.P. Kobe. What's up? But I still take MJ in his prime over the both of them together. Honestly. But does Tom Brady, Bruce Arians? By the way, the coach Bruce Arians was at multiple locations. Just came out of a stint in Arizona. All these guys are journeymen, not journeymen. That's the wrong term. But they're guys that are chasing down that last ring. Do they do it? Do they do it in Tampa Bay?
Yes.
Why? Because you like Tom Brady?
Yes.
I think they have no
Not
shot.
against my Giants, though.
You still have the New Orleans Saints. You still have my San Francisco 49ers. You still got the Green Bay Packers. You still have the
I like Green Bay Packers.
You still have the Seattle Seahawks. You still have the Dallas Cowboys that might finally figure it out.
Arians coach my Steelers.
And you have the Minnesota Vikings. You have all these teams that are in the NFC. Brady was in the AFC. Now he goes to the NFC. Can Brady with Bruce Arians, the young wide receiver core, their okay offensive line, can they win a Super Bowl over teams such as New Orleans, San Francisco, Green Bay, Seattle, Dallas, and Minnesota? And that's just getting into the NFC Championship. Can they do it?
I think so.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yinghao said, who's better, LeBron or Kobe?
That's actually a really good question.
LeBron, I say.
Okay. Kobe, again, works the court. He can make it all. He can make you go, ooh, ah. LeBron can too, but he does it with so much power and authority.
He's like, here you go, bitch.
It's a different type of player. I think LeBron should be not in the category with Kareem and Olajuwon and all those people, the super big men, but not far off from it. LeBron didn't really come into his own as being a lights-out shooter until later on.
No basketball, por favor.
All right, anyway, we can agree with that. All right.
Wildlife says, I say no, I don't know what their O-line and defense is enough to beat all those NFC teams Justin just mentioned.
Yeah, I'm still thinking New Orleans and San Fran, Green Bay are still going to come out.
Say it in the voice of Nick Kyrgios. Oh, yeah.
Hey, bro. If I don't come out, I didn't even try. I didn't even really try. If my name's Tom Brady and, if I don't win this, then I didn't even really try. I don't even really care to be out here in the first place. All right, last topic. Here we go. Since we haven't had any tennis news recently, I came across an article today from Wimbledon, from the Wimbledon area. Okay? Actually, this took place just south of Wimbledon. Okay, you ready for this? You already know about this.
No, I don't know.
So there was a gentleman that was cleaning his septic tank. I didn't know they still had septic tanks over yonder, but nonetheless, they do. Hopefully those tanks, actually, the grass at Wimbledon might be greener because the septic tank lines are running underneath the courts, which would mean fertilization for Center Court Wimbledon based upon septic tanks. Conspiracy theory, probably. Okay, so someone was cleaning out their septic tank. The septic tank in the ground collapsed, Boom. Ends up thigh deep in the septic tank until the fire department could come and help him get out. Could you imagine being trapped in your own excrement up to your thigh?
You'd be thrown.
So, hey, at least Wimbledon got up front and center in the news because homeboy is dirty. How long would you stay in the shower to get rid of that? Would you like
scrub all day?
Would you bathe in bleach?
No.
Would you?
Well, you could get a bleach bath.
Huh.
Bleach bath.
Wasn't there something you got and you had to take a bath in ketchup? Have you ever heard this old wives' tale?
Never.
Look, when I was in college, I had a dog. And I didn't know these guys were messing with me, but my dog had a skin issue. Like, he would lose little patches of hair or something. Anyway, I took it to the vet, but before I did that, they said, if you dip your dog in motor oil, that'll help that. I didn't know they were joking with me. I dipped my dog in motor oil. Not a lot of it. I didn't, drown him in motor oil. I just, rubbed it all over him. Wasn't a good scenario. I brought it to the vet, and they were, laughing. What buffoon told you this crap? My bad, so I had to pay for a bath, too. Anyway, at least I didn't fall in the septic tank. Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys, that's it. Again, tomorrow we plan to do a live show with her dad. Her dad's coming. We always go out and play doubles, and he hits with the boys and so forth. So I hope Nathan will want to do a show tomorrow. But what we plan to do is retouch on a subject that we did the show before this one a couple of days ago, and that is how tough is too tough to push your students in any sport. He was a heck of a soccer player. So her father started tennis late and taught it to Carla right off. But her father was an extremely good soccer player as a youth in Honduras and growing up. Really good athlete across multiple sports, her dad. He's been on the show before, but we want to get his opinion on why it's necessary to push.
Justin looks like his dad, yeah.
Why it's so necessary to push athletes that are your kids to the extreme. My father, the other day, we were sitting at a table. My father comes out. He makes the kids do videos. He doesn't care about himself. He's like, no, this is about the kids. Let's film them. He made one of my oldest boys, not made, but made it happen. Try to teach, he's no coach, but he's about to go to the Air Force Academy. So he wants him to start learning how to be a coach and not necessarily a student. So he's told me the other day that I don't get what he was making reference to my 5 kids looking at me about why he was so tough on us. His words were something like this: I don't give a shit what anybody freaking thinks. I'm the parent, and if you learn something and learn it well, you can take it with you for the rest of your life. And what better thing to learn to take with you for the rest of your life than the game of tennis, in which I was born into, played through college in, and blah, 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 blah. To have a sport that you can meet people with, you can stay fit with, you can gain friendships with, you can meet people globally that all have the same thing, and that's something in common with the game of tennis. So he said to all of my kids here, and he looked directly at my 7-year-old, because my 7-year-old kind of gets not as much training as everyone else on the court, because she doesn't really gravitate towards it like everyone else does, so you really have to push her, and sometimes she cries when you push her too hard. So he looked at my 7-year-old, was like, I don't give a damn if you cry. Whatever. You can cry all you want. But nonetheless, we're going to go out every day and we're going to train. And you can cry your way to the bank. I don't care. I really don't care. I'm the parent, and this will benefit you later in life. So we're going to get your dad's version of that. And I have a pretty good feeling that his version is going to be pretty much spot on to that one. Would you agree?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Much love. Vamos. Let's go. Woo! Ric Flair. Peace out, and see you tomorrow as long as her dad's on board. I'm pretty sure he will be.
Yeah. He wanted to talk about it.
So
I'm sure he's going to say many things he regretted, too.
Yeah, he might say regrets, but he also might, again, have to remember that, 10 years ago, you were in your...
Thank you. I hope she'll be a superstar. She's young, so...
Yeah, so I can't tell you an exact time, but our goal is sometime around this time frame tomorrow.
No quiz.
Yeah, so
we're not doing quiz.
So we did one, and
he said no quiz.
Yeah, no, we're not. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. We retired that. It just took a while, and others started to do it. No disrespect there either. Much love to everyone. We hope everyone is well. It doesn't matter. No ill will, no matter what. But just keep your eyes out, because what we'll probably do is stick it out maybe 30 minutes before we do it. However it works. There's a way you can plan an event. But I can't plan it right now, so you can just click on it, because I don't know what time it's going to go down. So when he's here and he's like, okay, let's do it, I'll put like an event out if you see it or keep up with it. Dumb me, I don't even know how it works.
You can ask him questions.
Yeah, and you can ask him questions, and he'll answer all the questions.
Are we ever going to get back to normal? I think we will.
Yeah. And if you speak Spanish, by the way, her dad is Spanish. She's fluent Spanish, obviously. I'm learning, but I'm out. I can listen to it and decipher it, but I can't really speak it fluently back to you. But if you're Spanish preferred, then that will be okay tomorrow as well. All right?
Carla, do you cook oxtail? No, but my dad does, and I think it's great. I love it.
He brought me that crap not long ago.
That is not oxtail.
What was that?
That was mondongo.
Who? Okay, hold on real quick.
Mondongo.
I blew out my patellar tendon.
Tripe.
I blew out my patellar tendon in my knee. And he shows up and he's like, eat this. This is good for you. It'll help you build muscle back. He's good for you. Good for you. And I'm like, okay, I'll eat it.
You were trying to trick him.
Shoot, I took a spoon of that. Ugh, I about threw up all over the floor. And I'm like, what the heck am I eating here? And what was it? Tripe.
Yeah.
Shoot, triped out the door. Nasty.
We were all laughing.
Yeah. I just went to the store and got a protein shake. Keep that. Awful.
You just hurt his feelings.
Jeez. All right. Anyway, much love to all of you. Nathan Mora, hopefully will be here in the flesh.
Terry says, I love tripe.
Ugh. Man, I'm out. I'm out. See ya.
It's a Spanish
I'm going to go
thing,
vomit.
Bye-bye.